Salute to you. He says, I'm an officer in the Navy. Me and my family move every 2 years or so. What should I do to rent? Do I buy a house and sell and rent it out when I leave?
Buy a rental-specific house. Buy a house that is a perfect Airbnb, which, guys, if you're going to fuck with this stupid-ass Airbnb game, it's not that fun. I've owned 2 Airbnbs. It's okay. It's not this fucking big payday. It's work. So, if you want to get an Airbnb, you can run it yourself, or you can give up 20% to a leasing agent and a cleaning lady. Your best friend when you run an Airbnb is a cleaning lady, okay? Get a good one. It's hard. It's not easy. And I would do that. Pretty much self-manages, but you are going to have jizz all over everything people rent Airbnbs to fucking them. Think to yourselves, guys, hey, spouse of mine, when we rented an Airbnb, did we fuck in it? I bet you did. And people don't, I honestly think it's starting to lose its charm. I think hotels are going to come back in a big way. I think.
Oh, yeah. I'm at the point now where if I'm traveling, I'm just going to get a hotel.
Yeah. All right, next one.
We hit Glebe?
Yeah, 547 Chapel. In what city?
In Atlanta, Georgia. My backyard, Chapel Road. 2 P's, 2 L's. Chappelle
Road. Oh, nice. A nice hellhole. Now we're talking. Yeah, guys. So this is $125,000. You know, so those of you who don't know, when these are all cash fixes, guys. You can't get a loan for this stuff. Just a heads up. So all you guys looking at these like cheap houses, motivated seller, due diligence, great investment. It's probably, you have to have $125,000, or you're gonna have to have more than half of it. This house is it's a burn down. Oh, okay.
Should be free.
All right, so there's a couple of licensing things that come along with burn downs. You got to like get you have to tear this whole house down. So this is $400,000 to get this thing. If you have $400,000, yes. If you don't, this is a total tear. You have to rip this whole thing out. You can't. I don't even think you can fucking. This is a fucking nightmare. This is a big boy project, and you could lose your entire shirt. In this market, I wouldn't be running into a fucking an investment property that's gonna suck all my money and then some.
Wouldn't be running into a burning house.
Yeah, literally, right? Yeah. Man, I'm leaving softballs out there. 266.
David says, thoughts on renting a house for $1,600. I make 6 figures. Should I wait around a year and buy, or just rent and keep saving more slowly?
Wait and buy. Rent is not that bad. $1,500, not that bad. Don't worry. It's not like renting a house is free. There's $500 in bullshit that no one talks about on top of every single mortgage. You're not cutting your grass. You're not plowing the snow. You're not doing this, that, or the other thing. The house isn't breaking on your dime. Yes, that works out to about $500 a month that no one wants to fucking talk about because they're so proud of themselves they bought a house. It goes both ways, guys. You have to speak about it objectively. So it's not, I mean, yes, you are lining your fucking landlord's pocket, but hey, I don't like buying right now. I'm staying liquid right now, yeah. I'm on dry powder, as they say.
Yeah. Hey, Nick and Jet, I'm 21. I have $26,000 saved. I'm saving up for a house, and I don't want to tie my money up long term. Is there a better way to store my money than a savings account getting 1.5% a year? Not financial advice. Well, isn't inflation like fucking realistically 18% a year right now? I don't think 1.5 is cutting it. You need to fucking figure something else out. Savings account is
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.5% a year is, you're only down 17%.
I don't know. So, you can buy assets, but what are you going to buy? Find something you can spend a lot of money on? You can buy one expensive thing or a couple? Jesus. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that, man. I wouldn't buy a house right now. I would turn a small pile into a big pile by adding more elbow grease, man. Just not an exciting answer.
Dr. Dingledorf with the 10 says, screen printer here. Who could make near perfect vintage bootleg tees that screen printer here who could make near perfect vintage bootleg tees that people would sell for 500 plus? Bad guy move, or do people in Portland paying that for a Slipknot tee get what they deserve? Love you guys.
Damn.
Counterfeiting like vintage t-shirts?
Yeah. That's mad funny.
Honestly, man, I think you're Robin Hood, and
hey,
he's the good guy in
this
that
is
story.
the stuff that happens, I'm sure. And if anybody ever steals this concept, we have to go over there with pitchforks and burn them out of their fucking house.
Because my $17 chat was never read. I bought a house for $220K, separated the basement from the main floor, and renovated the detached garage. I now have 3 rental units. Should I take out equity and buy another house?
You should run with that scam that you're running as long as you can. That's like running dirty. Good for you for building units and renting people. You must be California, because that shit would never fly here. We do it, but we are not too keen on that kind of shit where you can just put people in there. If that thing ever burned down, doggy, you're in some trouble. Be careful. I had a fucking tiny house. So I don't think I ever told this, but I'll take a break. I'll tell you a tiny house story. My wife and I built a tiny house because we had a little bit of extra money saved. We had like the last 25 grand we had. I built a tiny home for extra income so we could like preserve. So we built a tiny home. I bought it for $5 grand from a dude who just did the shell and the insulation underneath. He did the 2 hard parts that I didn't want to do. And that's it. There was no windows. There was no roof. Nothing. I finished it in 2 weeks with an 80-year-old man, a little tiny 80-year-old man and my wife. And then we rented it out. You can look it up on Tiny Black Cabin, tiny_black_cabin. I rented that out for about $150 a night. It rented out, and it made me like $20,000 a year. It was cool at first. I ran a hard wire line down there, and I did an Incinelit, which is a French toilet that burns shit and piss. And that was my only, like hard no was I'm not gonna fucking touch shit. That was like the rule. So we rented it out. It was so fucking annoying. All it was guys cheating on their wives. Like I'd wake up and there'd be like a Tesla or like an S-Class in my like yard. I'd tell them to park in a certain area. They would go down there. They would fuck all night and then they would leave. And then it would be Asian art students or lesbians. And I say that, it's not even a joke. It was like 60% lesbians, and I think it's big. I think tiny houses are big in the lesbian community. I don't know that for sure, but I think it's just a pretty big thing. That I think what a lot of people do with tiny homes is they stay in one to see like the mistakes that I made or how they would do it differently. I had a 20-footer by 8 feet high with a loft bed, with a water tank from an RV with a pump in it that you had to turn on every time you wanted to use the water. I had a running shower and a toilet you could shit in and not touch. Like I said, it was $150 a night. I ran it well. It was at 66-70% occupancy. It was a fucking nightmare. All people want to do is talk to you on Airbnb. Can I bring my cat? Can I bring cheese? Is it dairy friendly? Is there grass? Do I have bugs? It's like, I don't know. It's annoying. So if you want to lose your spouse to correspondence, by all means, put a tiny home on your property. It's not all it's cracked up to be. I stayed in it one night. It was fucking hell. I'm a big guy. I'm 6 change, 3 change. No, so I'm a big. It's just not my cup of tea. I would stay in a fucking Motel 6 before I stayed in a tiny home.